Namo Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you very much for joining today, and I'd like to seek your good wishes and your blessings so that we can continue looking at the material world and the 14 planetary systems within which we have a residence. So yesterday we just were at this point where Lord Brahma receives the Gayatri from Gayatri, the calm Gayatri, and by meditating on the calm Gayatri, the spiritual world was revealed to him by Sri Krishna, by Lord Vishnu. And in terms of the 14 planetary, there are three statuses, different statuses: higher, middle, lower planetary systems. And Lord Brahma, he is a secondary creator. He is given the ingredients by the Lord, and the power is he's known as one of the Gunavatars in the mode of passion, and passion is required in order to create. So he's given the ingredients, he's given the empowerment by the Lord to create these 14 planetary systems. So the topmost is Satyalok, which is his own abode, and the most pious souls in our world live here. So these are highly elevated souls. The residents have subtle bodies. They don't have gross bodies like us. In fact, as soon as one reaches heaven, the gross bodies disappear, and the bodies are subtle, i.e., mind, intelligence, and ego. And there is neither any bereavement, nor old age, nor death. There is no pain of any kind. And the duration of life in Satya Yoga is calculated to be 15.48 trillion years. And this is from the Srimad-Bhagavatam, 2nd Canto, 2nd Chapter, 27th verse. And the size of Satyalok is huge. It covers 1/3 of the universe. So it's huge, and there's many living entities living there. And if the Lord Brahma is a devotee, Vaishnav, then they'll all go to Vaikuntha at the end of the time of the universe, when it finishes, when it's destroyed. They'll all go with Brahma to Vaikuntha. And we're very fortunate. The Lord Brahma of this universe is a pure devotee of the Lord. So there's Satyalok, abode of Lord Brahma. Next one is Tapalok. Those who have performed severe penances are transferred here. And the 4 Kumaras live here. So that's one example. Vasudev, the presiding deity of consciousness, is meditated upon in Tapalok. So the process of God consciousness is meditation, because there's very, very long lives and peaceful conditions. Millions of rishis sit and meditate or discuss philosophy. Strict vanaprasthas attain Tapalok. So vanaprasthas are just below the sannyas ashram. So it's one of the ashrams where the vanaprasthas, if they're a couple, they're retired and they're visiting holy places and living very austere life. So that's Tapalok. Let's just have a look at Tapalok. So second planet. So Satyalok, then Tapalok, and then Janalok. Janalok is there's method of worship is yagyas are performed to Yageshwar by The Prajapatis are like the founding fathers, very powerful personalities, very, very strong, principled. Nrsimha resides with Divya Saraswati, Lakshmi Devi. So Lord Nrsimhadev is the presiding deity. And after death, the great saintly persons and mystics, they go to Janalok. Even that is within this material world. Of course, here they have the chance to progress further. Strict brahmacharis attain Janalok. So, Satyalok, Tapalok, Janalok, the abode of the Prajapatis. And Tapalok is the abode of the 4 Kumaras. Then we got Mahalok, which is the abode of Bhrigu Muni and the Prajapatis. Mahalok. So Mahalok, great sages and advanced yogis such as Bhrigu Muni live here for 4.3 billion years. Long lives. And here, who can attain Mahalok? Householders or grihasthas who strictly follow the rules of regulations. And when the fire of devastation almost reaches this planet, so every day of Brahma, there's a mini destruction, which destroys half of the universe. So when the fire of destruction reaches Mahalok, the residents transport themselves to Janalok. So there's a gateway, there's a path going from Janalok to Mahalok. Dhruvlok is between Swarglok and Mahalok. So Dhruvlok, which I think we'll come to a bit later, is a Vaikuntha planet. It doesn't get destroyed when this world is destroyed. This is where also Kshirodakshaya Vishnu lives. And it's called Dhruvlok because this planet is allocated to Dhruv Maharaj. He gained a kingdom greater than his great-grandfather, Lord Brahma. And it's also the pivotal point for the turning of the universe. So Dhruvlok is really important. At the end of Brahma's life, or when Mahavishnu breathes in, so that's at the same time, right? Brahma's life ends when Mahavishnu breathes in. The whole material creation is destroyed. However, Dhruvlok is not destroyed. Dhruvlok is transferred to the spiritual world. So there we go, Mahalok and Swarglok, but Dhruvlok is situated somewhere in between. Swarglok is the abode of the demigods. So who goes there? The karmis or fruitive workers can elevate themselves to Swarglok planets, which include the sun, the moon, Jupiter, and Venus. After the good karma is finished, then these souls have to go back to earth. Right? When the good karma bank balance is complete, is utilized, then back down to earth again. So who lives there? The denizens of heaven who live in the planetary system, beginning from Swarglok, cannot even see Lord Vishnu in Shwetadweep. So Shwetadweep is where it's with Dhruvlok. It's in Dhruvlok, where Lord Kshirodakshaya Vishnu resides. Unable to reach the island, they can simply approach the beach of the Milk Ocean to offer transcendental prayers to the Lord, appealing to him on special occasions to appear as an incarnation. So we see the picture where the demigods are at the ocean of milk, and we can see Kshirodakshaya Vishnu on the ocean of milk being massaged by Lakshmi Devi. Demigods cannot necessarily see the Lord. They can, but they offer their prayers, especially the Purusha Shukta, in order to gain the mercy of the Lord. Yes, Naniman.
Yes, Prabhuji. What is the life of the people or fruity workers who are in Srimad-Bhagavatam?
Yeah, good question. Our one day, our one day is their 6 months, isn't it? Is that the other way around? Is it that way around? So they have a long life. Can be, it will be tens of thousands of years.
Okay.
It'll be tens of thousands. So it'll be quite a long life.
Not into billions, but thousands.
No, not in, I don't think in the millions. No,
No.
Definitely not in the billions.
No.
But
Thousands.
it's a long time. It is a very long time.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
And I think a rough guesstimate is that one day is equal to 6 months in Swaglok.
Okay.
Yeah. And of course, it's not so easy to get to Swaglok because it means one has not done any sinful activities in one's life and just done either very pious activities or performed sacrifice to the devatas, worshipped the devatas, and hence one goes to the planets of the devatas. Indra is the king of the higher planetary system, and he has the power to push down any conditioned soul attempting to go from the lower to the higher planets without proper qualification. So there's a few examples of this. Those can't remember his name now. Vishwamitra was asked to help somebody go to heaven in their human body, and he agreed to the proposal, and he tried his best to send this devotee to heaven. But this devotee, although he was traveling towards heaven, was stopped from entering heaven. So he was stuck in between somewhere. So not anybody can enter heaven. I think Ravan had a staircase going up to heaven. So, but I'm not sure.
Prabhuji,
Yes.
did Ravan's ambition was to build a ladder, or did he actually build a ladder?
I think, did he build a ladder? I'm not quite sure. I think definitely ambition.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think he had a plan, ambition to reach the heaven.
Yeah.
He had ambition, but I don't think he was
Actually
not that pious at all, wasn't he? He was a good person. He was pious because he believed in Shiva, but with he had other faults as well.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right. He was he knew the scriptures so well that even the devatas used to ask him to do the yajna. So he was very, very learned. But unfortunately, his attitude was betrayed his learning. Yeah, he had great greed for the Lord's possession of Sita Devi. So he's always portrayed as an ugly brute, but actually I understand he was very handsome as well. So looks can deceive. So that's Swaglok, the abode of the demigods. And then we have the abode of the ghosts and the spirits, Bhuvlok, which is counted to be as one of the 7 higher planets in this world. Bhuvlok. Bhuvalok is in the middle planetary system, and it's split. Oh, so you got 3, yeah. So you got the higher, lower, higher, middle, lower. So it's in the middle. The servants of demigods live here. So the Gandharvas, the Apsaras, the Yakshas, they reside in opulence, in Bhuvalok. The ghosts, the spirits, the Rakshasas live here. So this can be a little bit of a surprise. How come the Rakshasas live here? There isn't a huge deal of information about Bhuvalok. So then,
Prabhuji,
yes, anyway.
presumably like in human beings, there are good people and the bad people. So analogy comparing that to the Rakshasas, there may be good and bad as well. So the good ones are living there and the bad ones are in the lower planets, perhaps.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just my guess.
Yeah, I'm not quite figured this one out. There isn't that much information. So ideally, we don't want to go here.
No.
Actually, we'll stay out of these places. So, but here are mainly the servants of the demigods, the Gandharvas, who are great singers, Apsaras, very beautiful maidens, Yakshas. And who's the king of the Yakshas? Is it Varundev? Varundev? Sure. Then we got Bhulok, which is the system where we are living. And it's also referred to as Bhumandal. And per the Bhagavatam, it looks like a lotus flower extended over a vast area of space. And in the middle of that lotus, in the wall, there are 7 layers. And in the center is Jambudvip, which consists of 9 regions, including Bharatvarsh, where we live. So this is where it's that flat structure. Bhumandal does refer to something flat. Maybe this is in a subtle form, which we do not have the vision or intelligence to see. So here we go. We've done this before. We've seen this before. This is regarded to be Bhumandal, flat. And then
it says it's like a lotus flower.
Yeah, and in the middle, the wall is Jambudvip, where there are 9, which consists of 9 regions, including Bharatvarsh. So let's have a look at that actually. There you go. That's the 7 layers. And this is supposed to be the lotus, and that's the wall, the middle, which is where Jambudvip is. And one of the regions in Jambudvip is Bharatvarsh, where we reside. And there's this Sumara mountain, which is very, very high. And yeah, Jambudvip is here, and then all these are other dweeps. I think we went through this in some detail some time ago. Oh, during the 5th canto. 5th canto. There you go. This is Jambudvip, in the middle of the wall. And then we have the different islands, 9 islands. And here is Bharatvarsh, where we are situated. And then you've got the holy rivers as well coming through. So there's another view here, sideways. This is Bhumandal. And then you got Satyalok, Janalok, Tapalok, Mahalok, Bhavalok. And then you've got this huge, huge lotus of Bhulok. In the middle is Jambudvip, and one of the islands is Bharatvarsh. Swarglok is here. very complex.
Very so, and our Bharatvarsha is just a part of it, isn't it? It's very, very small part of this Bhumandal.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Of a very small part of Jambudvip.
It's part of the Jambudvip.
Yeah, which is in the center. And then you've got the 7 layers, which is all part of this Bhumandal. This is the description given in the Bhagavatam.
Mm.
And then you got the Saptarishis, 7 sages. And we got somewhere there must be Dhruvlok. I'm not sure where that is. Where are you, Dhruvlok? Dhruvlok should be in between.
It's between
Mahalok and Tapalok, was it?
Mahalok and Tapalok. Yeah.
Dhruvlok, yeah.
Yeah.
Dhruvlok.
Dhruvlok.
Yeah. It's around somewhere. Yeah, this is pretty complex stuff, I have to say. Our Earth globe, planet, sorry, is a global round sphere. As Prabhupada explains, our ISKCON scientists should paint Lord Varaha lifting the earth as a globe, not as flat. 1974. But there are many pictures where we see Varaha lifting the flat globe as well. Not in ISKCON, these are other Hindu painters. Although the Bhagavatam doesn't explicitly describe the earth as globe, it does so indirectly. For example, it points out that night prevails diametrically opposite to a point where it is day. Otherwise, the sun sets at the point opposite where it rises. So in an indirect sense, it's described that this is like a globe. All the planetary systems can collectively be called Bhumandal, and not necessarily just our small Earth globe as well. So this is interesting. So Bhumandal is not necessarily just our small earthly globe. The word Earth, the word Earth, yeah, 2 meanings. The greater Earth, or the vast planetary system spread throughout the universe, made up of 14 planetary system realms, and is called Bhumandal. Or it can also mean the small Earth globe sphere that is single insignificant planet within the 7 planetary systems called Bhulok. So make sense of this if you can. It is complex. It's complicated to try to reconcile the two. So here we've tried to do that, reconciliation of the Bhagavatam description of Bharatvarsh and our perception of a global Earth, because you can't escape from that what we see with our limited vision is a global Earth. Of course, we can't see the globe, or when we go to the seaside, we look across the ocean and it's flat. You don't see the ocean dipping, but our perception is limited. Within Bhumandal is Jambudvip, and one of the 8 varshas is on the south, Bharatvarsh. Srila Prabhupada in a number of places indicates that the earth as we know it corresponds to Bharatvarsh. Thus, there is a relationship between regions on this earth of our experience and regions in the Bhumandal disk. How do we relate the small earth globe with the large continuum of the earth? So we are seeing this earth globe using our present senses. So we see it laid out in a certain way within space. And that is determined by our particular level of consciousness. At a higher level of consciousness, one could see it differently. One may be able to experience a large continuum and see more variegated phenomena within that continuum. At the highest level, one could directly perceive the whole disk of Bhumandal and travel to different parts within that domain. So, we have perhaps, depending on our level of consciousness, we can understand the position of Bhumandal or Earth. But it's not an easy subject. And it's not a subject which I would really get too worked up about, I have to say, because it is complicated. It shouldn't divert us from our main mission of trying to understand who we are in the first place. Anything else? And Aniben, anything you?
No, it's difficult to understand. As you say, it's not that necessary for our spiritual progress. It is, at least I've understood that there is, within the Bhumandal, there is Jambudvip, and in that there is in the southern side is our Bharatvarsh.
That's good, yeah. Our Guru Maharaj was very strong on that, actually. He lectured on this hundreds of times, on how in the Bhagavatam 5th canto, Bharatvarsh is described. So,
in this Bharatvarsh, it doesn't include the whole universe, isn't? Does it just includes the area known as Bharat, what we know as Bharat now? It may be bigger in that time.
Yeah.
No, the whole planet is
Whole planet was Bharat, yeah.
Bharatvarsh is called
Whole
Bharat.
planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Planet Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like Yudhishthira would have been the emperor of the whole planet.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what our Guru Maharaj used to explain. And he used to give so much evidence from different parts of the globe where Bharat culture, Vedic culture was present. Like Suriname, he used to say, was named after Devatas, right?
Surya Dev.
Surya Dev. So many
Even
different...
like England, I think it was, he had a term how England got its name as well.
Anglistan.
Anglistan or something.
It looks like a thumb, right? Anguto. Stan.
in Bharatvarsh.
It's within Bharatvarsh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. So how much disintegration has happened since then? Oh my God.
Yes.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
huge
Divisions, yeah, that's right.
Divisions, yeah.
All these countries and continents, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even in those times, you'd had little kingdoms, but you had the emperor overall.
Who was strong enough to unite.
Yeah.
True.
Because even if you look at like the British Raj, you still had little kingdoms in Bharat.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, it would have been like that.
Yes.
Everywhere.
It's a good comparison, Mataji.
Yeah.
Raj, and what we are now. Yeah.
So that's Pulok, the abode of human beings and other mortals. And this is the place where we don't go into it, but in many the devatas, they're praying to take birth on earth, because especially now the opportunity to become God conscious is very quick, it's very easy, and the benefit is the highest possible benefit by the chanting of the holy names, thanks to the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So let's look at the 7 lower planets. At Talok, 7 other systems lie 70,000 yojanas, 560,000 miles below Earth, starting with Atal. These subterranean worlds, also known as Bilaswarg, is heavenly planets of enjoyment for the demoniac class of people. So here there is incredible amount of enjoyment. It's not just where people go. It's not just hell. The sunshine does not reach these regions, but their light comes through the jewels of the hoods of serpents. People with great demoniac power reside here, and they live with great material enjoyment, even more than heaven, without any spiritual enjoyment or advancement. So at least in heaven, there is some conception of God. But in these planets, there is no conception of God. It's just enjoyment. They also do not become old or diseased, and fear of death has no effect on them, except for the time factor, of course. Everything gets destroyed in time. In Atal, there is a demon, the son of Maya Danav, named Bala. He who created 96 kinds of mystic power. Some so-called yogis and swamis take advantage of this mystic power to cheat people even today. So that's Atalok, the abode of demons, the son of Maya. Then we got Vitallok. Lord Shiva and his wife Gauri reside here. Interesting. Because of their presence, kind of gold is produced named Hatak. Sutalok, the great son of Maharaj Virochan, Bali Maharaj, who is celebrated as the most pious king, resides here even now. Bali Maharaj was favored by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vamandev, because of his intense devotional service. Even now, Bali Maharaj engages in devotional service by worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the planet of Sukha. So we know the pastime of Bali Maharaj. He came as, Vamandev came as a small Brahmin boy, and he begged 3 steps of land from Bali Maharaj, who granted that wish even against the desire of his spiritual master Sukracharya. And Bali Maharaj was the conqueror of the demigods. He was a so-called demon. And the 3 steps of land, Lord Vamandev took 1 step and he covered the whole earth. 2nd step, he covered the whole heavens. And his toe went right through the covering of the universe, the huge covering that we talked about yesterday. And then Bali Maharaj was tied up by the Lord because he'd broken his promise. He only had given 2 steps of land. Where shall I put my 3rd step? Said Vamandev. And Bali Maharaj, that's wrong, got it the wrong way around, haven't I? Pictures. And then Bali Maharaj offered his very self to the Lord, that you can put your 3rd foot on my head. And Bali Maharaj Vamandev was very pleased with Bali Maharaj's sacrifice. And he said to him, you can go to Sutalok, and don't worry, you will always see me. I'll be your gatekeeper. So in Sutalok, Vamandev is the gatekeeper, presiding deity as well. Mahatalok, where there are many snakes with hundreds and thousands of hoods. Mahatal is the abode of many hooded snakes, descendants of Kadru, who always is very angry. And then you got Rasatalok, the abode of the demoniac sons of Diti and Danu. They are called Panis, Nivata, Kavachas, Kalias, Hiranya, Purvavasis, those who are living in Hiranyapura. They are all enemies of the demigods. So this is where the demons reside. They get enough strength to conquer the demigods. Patalok, probably the most famous of all the lower planetary systems, and he's the 14th one. The serpent Vasuki lives here with his associates. Patal is also known as Naglok, where there are many demoniac serpents. And then below Patalok, there are various planetary systems. Narakalok, slightly above Garbhodak Ocean, there are different kinds of hells here, which maybe we can talk about tomorrow. Prithvilok. So there are different degrees of suffering for those who have to suffer depending on the wrongdoings. According to the Vedas, there are 28 different hellish planets in total. Prithvilok, the king of Pitas, Yamraj, son of Surya and Dharamraj. Sorry, Dharamraj, isn't it? It's the same. Yamraj and Dharamraj.
Yeah, there's another name for it.
Resides here with his personal servants. The soul of 3 presiding generations of one's ancestors reside in Patalaloka. Shraddha is performed for them by sons, daughters. And then we got the story of Karn, Pritupaksh. Ram performed Shraddha as well, especially for his father. As did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right?
Mhm.
Places now, such as Gaya, Varanasi, Haridwar, are recommended to perform Shraddha. These are the different hells. So we can maybe go through that tomorrow. Any questions? We can stop here.
Just go back to the previous slide. Yes, so when one leaves the body on earth, they go through these different hells here, one of the 28 hells, and then they go to Pitalok Yamraj before they're sent off to the final destination.
But only if they're impious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Sorry, what did you say, Prabhuji? Only if there?
It's sinful.
if they have any sins to get rid of, really. If you are a devotee, then you wouldn't have to go through this.
Yeah.
And that's why they say in those last, after someone leaves the body, you should do all these things like offering water and things like that for the soul, because he's going through all these hells where he don't have anything, and he's suffering, and the Yamduts are taking him to all the different hells.
So where does Chitra go? Does he sit in the same planet as Yamraj?
Yes.
Looks that way, isn't it?
Gupta.
Yeah. Yes.
Chitragupta, yes.
Yeah.
Mhm. So once a person, even if a sinful person, or a person who is not a Vishnu, who does not believe in the Vishnu, is not Vishnu Tattva person, not Vishnu Tattva, Vishnu Dut. Vishnu Dut,
Vaishnav.
yeah, who is a Vaishnav, but any other persons, they are first taken to this Pitrulok for Yamraj.
Not Pitrulok, the different hells, the 28 Hellish planets, depending on what they have to suffer.
Yeah, but do they go through them first or after they have met with the Yamraj?
Now before, and then they go to Yamraj.
Okay.
That's what I think stated in the Garud Puran. Because I think when we looked at the cycle of when one leaves the body and what happens, I think that's when we encountered this.
But most people are sinful in this world, isn't it? Most people, including me, we have done a lot of bad work.
Including us.
Yeah.
Yes, we all have to go through that cycle of
No, but
huh?
you are engaged in Krishna consciousness. I don't think that's you can forget about any hellish planets.
It's very frightening thought, that is.
No. Don't give it a second thought.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, we are talking about very serious matter.
Yeah.
When we are devotees, when
Yes.
we got initiated by the Guru take all the bad karma of the devotees, of his disciples. Do you agree with me?
Yeah.
So when he has already taken all these bad karma, and he accept us as a disciple. So we as disciples, we should perform our devotional life according to the scriptures and for satisfaction of our Guru Maharaj. And then for many births of sinful activities, the spiritual master just nullify it. So we go back to Godhead, clean. This is conclusion of the scriptures.
Yeah, but Prabhuji, I'm not initiated. I'm into Krishna consciousness, but I haven't got a guru.
Yes, Mataji, you should do in the coming days. Why you accept the guru? If not, you will be. Prabhu is telling you.
Something is not happening in that direction, Prabhuji.
Why, Mataji?
No, but to be honest, you're already you're under the shelter of Prabhupada. You don't have to worry, Naniman.
Yeah.
Because the innocent souls, the souls who have this desire for spiritual progress, they'll always be protected, whether initiated or not initiated. If one is initiated, that helps. But because you've taken shelter of Prabhupada, you have nothing to worry about. Initiation hopefully will work through, but even if it doesn't, you will get the opportunity of progressing in spiritual life. You are already in spiritual life.
Yes, it for Sitaram Prabhuji, it's the logistics of working out and the criteria for initiation that I'm not able to fulfill.
No, you are. You can, and you have. You have fulfilled the criteria. It's just now the mechanics, isn't it?
Mechanics and
And the mechanics are not important. The mechanics are just mechanics. You've taken shelter of Prabhupada, and he will be there. He will be there.
yeah.
Even after initiation, if you still commit all these sins, and you're back to square one really anyway.
Yes, yeah, which we have seen. There are living examples, isn't it, Prabhuji?
Yes.
People
Yes.
are
So initiation does not mean that you protect it. You still have to do your bit afterwards. You can't let your guru take all your karma.
But that is what puts us off, that we have seen this first-hand experience of people working badly within our temple and ISKCON. And then at times you can't comprehend that.
But the thing is, those things are just distractions. And ultimately, we have our sort of karma, which we have to go through.
Yes, I think that is important. I think as far as karmas are concerned, I'm doing my best that I can do to have a sort of like a sattva life or goodness, functioning in the mode of goodness, I think.
Correct.
Differentiate between the goodness, ignorance, and the passion, and then rising above the goodness is what I'm trying.
Yeah, no, and I think you're going a long way. You've timed it well.
Even previously, your role as a doctor is sattvic. It's helping people.
Yes.
Your profession has always been like that as well. So that's your nature.
Yeah. I've always put patience above me. Always.
Yeah.
And in those days, things were different. They're not like now that you don't care, you don't get any appointment. When I was working, things were not like that. We went out of our way. We went to visit them. We went to visit them in the hospitals, in the hospice. After somebody passed away, we would go to their house. So our working style was quite different than what is happening now. And I'm glad that I did that.
Yeah.
Amazing. That's why my nature. It's not that I did it. That's what my nature is, Prabhuji.
Exactly. Yeah. So you shouldn't have any worries.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Prabhuji.
No fears, because your nature, as you said, your nature is sattvic. So the Lord will look after those who are in the mode of goodness. And you're also, you are a devotee. So there's no fear, man.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thanks, Mataji.
Okay.
Thanks, Sitaram Prabhu.
Anything else? Anybody else? Okay. Otherwise, what we can do is Patalaloka ki jai. No, Gulok ki jai. Paradosh ki jai.